And today's topic is how to be authentic and how to be truthful to yourself. This topic, I think, is one of the most important ones in my life, because if you don't live authentic life, you're basically living someone else's life. And when you live someone else's life, you can't really be happy, because each one of us is unique. And when you try to suppress your unique nature, your unique beliefs, values, desires, and just sort of be influenced by what other people think, how it is normal in the society, it is impossible to be happy. You'll always feel that something is wrong, and you might not even know what exactly is wrong with you. So, authenticity. First, I wanted to start with how to understand if you're living an authentic life. In my opinion, authentic life is firstly when you can say that you are truly happy. So, are you truly happy? That's the first question you should ask if you want to check if you're authentic. Second thing is, what I've noticed that authentic people, once they have idea, they immediately realize it. Idea comes, they go and do it. Why? Because there is no distance between the idea and action, as they don't have fears, doubts. They don't think what their mom will say. They don't think, oh, maybe this I will fail. They're just so authentic and so confident in their authenticity that they just don't care. They just do their thing. Yeah. So basically, when you're authentic, you go your own path. You hear your inner impulses. But the question is, so there are so many episodes in our day of different moments and different energies. Which part of the day is when you can call yourself authentic? Is it when you're just waking up, or is it when you're scrolling Instagram, or is it when you're driving a car? How to understand when you are truly authentic? I believe it's only when you connect with yourself through various practices, and the easiest one is to connect to yourself through meditation. Try meditating for 20-30 minutes, and after that you'll be quite in a state where you are the most authentic self, because you have reduced the noise of other people that were in your head. So before meditation, you start and you have like millions of thoughts, ideas, worries. When you meditate, you slowly let it go, and you clear your mind, yourself, from others, and you have the opportunity to connect to who you really are. Even though it's not easy, it might not even come from the first time you meditate. Maybe it will come only after 2 weeks or a month. But it's so worth it, because that feeling that you are true to yourself, it is very grounding, calming, that you stand on both feet on this earth and you're confident in who you are as a person. Yes, and so why should we even care about living authentic life? I believe that we all come here with our unique skills and talents, and unless you figure out who you are, you'll just be replicating what is already done. You'll be living someone else's life. And I want to share with you also something from my life, since I want to be a bit more vulnerable than usually, because I have this urge to share more to share more, but there is some perfectionist inside me, or something inside me which is not my authentic self, that is saying, who needs it, right? But yeah, some changes in my real life recently is that I became a dance instructor in bachata, which is a huge step. It was actually one of my dreams. And when I just became the first week, I was so stressed out. And you know why? Because in my head, I thought now from this day one, I had to be perfect in dancing because now I'm an instructor. And this pressure that I put on myself really made me so stressed out. And these worries weren't coming from myself, they were coming from some inner perfectionists, probably came, I don't know, from other voices I've heard in my life, that you should be a certain way, you should be perfect, you should dance from the start very good, and not allowing myself to make mistakes. And I think what was authentic from my side is that I realized, okay, this is not my voice. And realizing that for me in this moment, what is authentic is to be a beginner trainer. Yeah, I'm already an instructor, but I'm still a beginner instructor. And I shouldn't fake that I'm the best instructor or the best dancer. And when I released this pressure I put on myself that I shouldn't make any mistakes, I should be perfect, I just relaxed and started to have fun, to started enjoying this process. And that was authentic for me. I think all of the authentic decisions actually don't come from your mind, but they always come from your heart, because your mind is very flawed with different beliefs and thoughts. And only when you tune in into your heart and trust it, because it's so hard to trust your heart. Like again, it was with me with dancing example. One day I just received a call that, hey, I see potential in you, do you want to also teach? And my mind was like, oh my god, no, who I am to do this, I can't do this, or this is too early, or like some different scenarios started coming to my head. And I was like, okay, I stressed out already during the call, but my heart knew the answer immediately. My heart didn't care at all about all these mind dilemmas. My heart was like, yes, yes, yes. And I think the magic here is to close your eyes sort of on what your mind is saying. It's super hard because our mind is sort of what controls our logic, and it's so hard to let go of this control and just trust your heart and trust the universe. Yeah. One of the exercises I love on authenticity is living your day by the impulses. So you wake up and you do not what you're supposed to do by some schedule or by what you have planned the day before in your mind, but you live by the impulse. So what do you want right now? But not from your mind, from your heart. Okay, right now I want a smoothie. You go and get the smoothie. After you drink the smoothie, you ask, what do I want now? Now I want to call my friend. Then, okay, now I want to finish this task. And you live by impulses, step by step during the day, and you just observe where it leads you and how you feel. It's a difficult exercise because while you do it, again, your mind will try to stop you, will try to limit you and say that you don't have time for this game, or that that you should follow a certain plan. You can't just free flow today. But when you let yourself just be, with time, you'll notice how something inside you starts to speak louder. And when you allow that voice to speak louder to you, it is actually when you connect to your authenticity, to your authentic voice. And when you have a strong connection with your authentic voice, you can get so much wisdom, and this time not from outside, not from other people, what your parents told you or what your boss told you, but you can get answers from inside. That's the true wisdom. It's when you want to fulfill your dream, like becoming a singer, you don't listen to what other people say. You don't listen to your mind that says it's impossible. You listen to your heart and you fully believe it, that you want it and you will do it. Here also, important thing that I learned is that when your heart says to do something, it doesn't mean you will succeed in it. It doesn't mean that. It means that this is the action you should do. This is the action you should do. You should try this thing that your heart says, but doesn't mean that you'll become a superstar there or super successful. Maybe it's just that one next step where you might like meet a certain person, or you might learn a certain skill, or you just need to overcome this risk with that action. And maybe very soon there will be another impulse to do something else. So it's not that you should stick to just one thing. You're so flexible. And that has taught me a lot, because I'm the person that changes what I do super fast. Like, I don't like something, okay, I'm not doing it anymore. And to some people, it might seem that I'm not consistent, or I cannot stick to one thing, I just get bored. But it's not true. I'm just really listening to my heart and immediately trying, okay, like in March, I had this vision that I want a big team and I want to create videos like an agency. So I hired like 4 or 5 people in several weeks and try this. Now I understand that something doesn't click for me there. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I don't have a successful agency there. It matters that how much I've learned by creating this, how I understood what could be my next step. So that one hard desire that you have, it might not lead you to an endpoint, but it might lead you further right to on the right track of your authenticity, to show you your next step. And that's when you have to let go of your ego, because your ego will say that you cannot make mistakes. Your ego will say that you have to choose one thing and stick to it. You are not allowed to change your mind. Basically, on your authentic path, you are tested in all kinds of ways with your ego. Are you okay to let go your beliefs? Are you okay to maybe look unprofessional? Are you okay to not be the image you set up in your head? Because oftentimes, especially now who practice manifestation, we visualize a lot, we think a lot, and sometimes we are too attached to the image of ourselves, that we should do something only if we do it on 100%, or that we should stick to only one thing. And we are getting too attached, and this is our ego that gets too attached and cannot change their mind. When you go your authentic path, you should be very, very humble, because you make mistake, you're not judging yourself, you're your best friend. That mistake leads you to next step in your life. There you try yourself, maybe you stick to it, maybe not, then you go further, and you never lose faith in finding your authentic path and your life's mission. Another thing that authentic people have is that since they're quite independent in their opinions and life choices, they also have authentic beliefs and values that might really differ from society. Actually, my authentic journey started with some big decisions that weren't really accepted in my circle of friends and people and family back then, even though now it seems so common for me now. But some of my big decisions towards authenticity were that I left my office job, which seemed like an amazing career start. And I'll change the pose. Yeah, leaving the office job, because to some people it might seem easy, but I had like big arguments with my family, and like people all around me didn't understand. And the worst thing, that I didn't understand what I will do with it, like how will I earn money with it. Because again, when you follow your heart, most oftentimes you won't have a clear plan. You'll have just one step, and the next step your heart could be saying is like, leave your job, and you're like, what do I do next? And you don't know until you do it. And only when you do it, then you will be shown the next step. That's how much you have to risk. My next big authentic step and decision was going to Bali. Again, so many fears inside of how I'll be there alone. Again, arguments with my family that I can't go there alone, and so on. This big decision, again, I proved to myself that I'm committed to authentic life. I'm committed to authentic decisions, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else. And it doesn't mean that now that you decided to go your authentic path, all of your decisions should be like so aggressive, and you should cut, connections with people if they don't understand you. I'm not in favor of such attitude, because you can be authentic in your way. At first, yes, your decision might be a bit harder for yourself to do, but in general, authentic person just does their own thing and doesn't really impose their views on other people. So if you have an authentic opinion, you just say it. You don't try to influence someone. Or for example, my other big decision was to become vegetarian. I'm not a vegetarian that tries to influence other people and convince them to become vegetarian. No, this is my authentic decision. I have very strong why I do it. If you want, you can do it too, but I really don't care. You allow other people to be also authentic. Yes, that's another thing I just came up with it, that when you go your authentic path, you allow others to go their authentic path, and it means that you are not judging anyone anymore. Even if they're doing something completely crazy, you're like, okay, this is interesting. This is something which I wouldn't do, but that seems pretty authentic to them. I allow them to do. Or even when someone is not authentic, you see them that they're copying something, or they wear some masks, you just like allow them. This is their point in life right now. This is where they should be. You don't try to teach them how to be authentic. You don't try to change them. You just accept and you do your own thing, because authentic person just That's what they have to do. This was a free flow of thoughts. First of all, needed for myself because I haven't talked in such a format for such a long time, and I just needed to shake up this energy of talking in lives. And thank you to whoever was listening to me. And probably this live wasn't the most informative and a bit chaotic, and I allow myself to be. And when you will also, if you look at my life and you allow myself to be a bit chaotic and a bit unstructured, you also allow yourself to be like that. Because in the end, we all go through the same challenges, like accepting our mistakes, accepting that we are not perfect. And when you accept others, it's so healing because you're really accepting yourself. So we will talk more about authenticity and how to be true to yourself in the upcoming brunch already this Sunday with Laura. And actually, me and Laura also have planned a common program. It's actually the first time I'm saying this, since I guess not many people will watch this live. It will be like exclusive information for those who watch it, probably in September, because everything becomes so easy when you become authentic and true to yourself. You know your mission, you know why you're doing it, and you have like this tunnel vision. And yes, when you decide that you live authentic life, you just go all in your visions. You become very calm and you feel safe with yourself because you're not faking anything. You are who you are. Okay, on this note, I'm ending this live. Thank you for everyone who was watching, and see you in my next videos, or maybe you want to join the event. Bye.